Hi, welcome to episode 5 of The Kitchen Sink, my weekly vlog. I'm Eric J. Barkman, and for this episode we're trying something just a little bit different. First of all, I should probably talk a bit about my own projects. Seconds is coming along nicely, did some good amount of work on it over this past week. Not quite as much as I would have liked, but I'm finding certain things are a bit more difficult than I expected they would be. But it'll still on schedule to be up by the summer, if not sooner. Obviously, as you can see with this episode, I'm trying something new or whatever, trying to put a bit more work into it. So, yeah. So, last week Nintendo held a Nintendo Direct, which is one of their occasional things where they announce a bunch of stuff, games and other stuff, whatever. Specifically in this one, they announced some stuff for both 3DS and the Wii U. On the 3DS, they announced a new Yoshi's Island game, which, in my opinion, is very awesome because the original Yoshi's Island is pretty much my favorite game of all time. It was also the first game I ever owned, so I'm a little bit biased, but most people that play it agree that it is at least one of the top platformers, if not the top. So it did have a sequel on the DS, which wasn't nearly as good, but it was still a decent game. It just couldn't really compare to the original. Hopefully this one is a bit closer to the original than the second, so we'll see how it goes. Don't know too much about it yet, don't even know which studio is making it. They also announced Link to the Past 2, sequel to the Zelda game on the Super Nintendo. It'll be following along in a lot of ways. Plotline will be a sequel. Whether it takes place shortly after or sometime later, we don't know. Link to the Past already actually had a few sequels. Link's Awakening, which came out for the Game Boy, and then the Oracle games, which came out for the Game Boy Color, which fit between A Link to the Past and Link's Awakening. So where this one will fit in, we don't yet know, but forward to seeing that. Gameplay is also very similar, and it'll be a top-down view, although it will have things at different elevations, and the 3D of the 3DS will come into play on that. There'll also be an interesting move where you turn into a picture on the wall, and you can move along the wall, but just left and right, not up and down. So if you see a platform or whatever, you try going over to it, but find it's at the wrong elevation, you can't get onto it. Which definitely opens up a lot of possibilities for gameplay, and it'll be interesting to see how they use it. Over on the Wii U side, there's a new system update coming today that'll be speeding up the operating system and adding more options for downloading, where it'll download and install while you're doing other stuff. You don't have to actually go click install after it's downloaded. It'll do that automatically, and a lot of other things like that. Also, this is in preparation for the launch of the Wii U's Virtual Console tomorrow. Last I checked, there hasn't been anything. We don't know what games are going to be getting released on it tomorrow, but definitely looking forward to seeing that. Well, one interesting thing is that one game that we do know that is coming out that we were long hoping for on the Wii's Virtual Console but never came is Earthbound, which is very interesting because often seems like Nintendo of America would, I guess, to forget that Earthbound never existed, but I guess they finally caved. They're releasing it, and that's definitely something to look forward to. So I've been getting some requests to talk more about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Well, a request. Two if you count myself. So, there's not too much new, Because, like, Iron Man 3 comes out in 2 weeks. So, mostly we know what we're gonna know until we actually see it. Although, one interesting thing I read the other day is that the movie takes place around Christmas time, which I didn't know but found interesting. For Thor the Dark World, which comes out in November. Now we know the basic plot. Dark elves decide to attack Earth and Asgard. And that's most of what we know. We do know that at some point during the movie, Jane Foster will be going to Asgard, so unlike the first movie, where Thor was a bit of a fish out of water on Earth, here in this one, Jane will be the fish out of water in Asgard. Also, Thor's parents may not exactly approve of her, and it's also apparently going to be a bit of a love triangle with Sif, who you may remember as the warrior woman from the first one. Also, Loki may end up working with Thor at some point in the movie. Which, I mean, I guess if the Dark Elves are attacking Asgard and Loki's in Asgard, he's not exactly going to want them winning either. Although we'll, of course, have to wait and see to figure out exactly, how things are going to go down. And then, for Guardians of the Galaxy next year, we just recently got a confirmation that Ophelia Lovabond, I may be pronouncing that wrong, but she'll be in the movie, apparently playing someone with connections to the Collector, a Marvel Cosmic character. Duh, it's a Marvel Cosmic movie. So, we'll have to wait to see how that turns out and what character exactly she'll be playing. So, yeah. Well, that should just about wrap things up for today. So, yeah, tell me in the comments what you think about slightly altered format. Other things you think I should change, not change, what you want to see. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you don't, subscribe if you want to, and yeah, have fun.